Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and in today's reading, whilst I was just shuffling the cards, I got a very sad feeling, sort of a very sad energy washed over me. So I feel like this reading is for somebody who's feeling sad. I don't know what about just yet, but that is the feeling I'm getting. There was a sad energy in yesterday's reading as well, so this may be a continuation from that, but I don't know for sure, so we shall have to wait and see. Okay, so at the centre of the reading, we have the Strength card. It seems to me like you're stuck in some sort of endless cycle, some sort of loop that you're finding it very difficult to escape from. If you can see up here, we have an infinity sign above her head, and she's sort of grappling or taming the lion, if you like. In fact, actually, if you look in this this card more closely, she's not really grappling at all. She's just sort of calming the lion, if you like. She really isn't doing very much in terms of she's not struggling in any way to control this situation. So I feel like whatever the situation is that is making you sad, you've got it under control, I would say. Seems like an odd thing to say. But you might be mentally struggling or emotionally struggling with something that perhaps you've not voiced to other people. A problem that is feeling very difficult to solve. What is crossing that? So what's preventing moving forward or solving the problem, if you like, is this Knight of Pentacles. This is a very, very, very slow moving energy. And so if the situation you're dealing with involves another person, it could be that they are slowing down movement forward. This also could be a Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo. I just feel like now I'm looking at these cards again, I feel a little bit like yes, you might be sad about a situation, but you are actually okay. And I think the person who is struggling more is this Knight of Pentacles. The two feel very intertwined to me. So if it's a situation, maybe let's say it's a love situation, and you're waiting for somebody to do something or to make up their mind or to be proactive or to move things forward, you are really waiting, and it feels like a sort of treading water, almost like stuck in treacle. This is really, really slow. This is getting you down. It's heavy. It feels heavy. I actually felt like putting my head down, my shoulders then. This feels really heavy. And that isn't how you like to be. I can tell that. And this energy, this heavy energy, is starting to deplete you. You know, we've got to watch that as we get older. But I mean, at any age, you need to watch not depleting your energy stores. And the problem here, not only is it making you sad, but it is starting to sap your energy quite a lot, I feel. This could be even a son, could be a son who's causing problems, or I don't know. It's a younger man anyway. Actually, let's take a clarifying card for that. Why have we got the Knight of Pentacles crossing the Strength card? What is at the centre of this reading? In fact, you've got two knights here in this reading. You've got the Knight of Cups in the future position. So that potentially bodes really well. Ooh. And sort of links in with this. This is the card, this is the Five of Cups. This is a card of feeling like you've lost everything. Like you've got the Three of Cups is the card of joy and happiness, and the Three Cups have been kicked over. So it feels like all the joy has come or gone, come and gone out of your life. That's interesting. I couldn't decide whether to say come or gone. So possibly this energy has been coming and going a bit. Maybe it's been, yeah. And that would tie in with why you're waiting, or why you're feeling stuck, because you're waiting on somebody who's been coming and going a bit. Honestly. It seems to me like this person here, who's got the slow energy, they have thrown off a situation. And actually the shaking off of a situation, or deliberately stepping back from a situation, or not stepping forward, actually has caused them a lot of upset. I feel like your energy is much more positive than that. You're still feeling sad and you are tired by this, but I don't believe that this card, the Five of Cups, is your energy. I believe this is the person you're dealing with. And actually, on the topic of energy, I just would like to say briefly, when I'm doing a personal reading, I read the other person's energy and the expression comes out with the cards. Now, as I'm doing readings for groups of people or collectives of people I can't see, energy I can't quite grasp, if you're enjoying these readings, or you would like to participate more fully in these readings so I get a better handle on your energy, if you were to like and or subscribe to the channel, I really do believe that I would be able to feel your energy better, and possibly do slightly more detailed readings for your particular situation. Anyway, that aside, the person who is crossing your energy, that is sapping your strength, they are the person who is heartbroken here, and they've done it to themselves. There is redemption, because the Two of Cups is standing there quite happily in the background, and the Two of Cups is the true love connection. So they've kicked over they've kicked out all of the, like they've sapped all the energy out of the relationship, or they've kicked out the joy. They've just like thrown everything up in the air, and it's all fallen down wrongly for them. You're pulling yourself back together. You're picking up the pieces and moving on. They are struggling a lot of struggling. And also, not only are they struggling, I think they're trying to work out what to do, because it might be that this has dawned on them very, very, very late that actually they should have done something about this to resolve the situation, to get their happiness back. They've done this to themselves through lack of action. I feel it's lack of action that is making them miserable. And don't get me wrong, you have been miserable. You still are sad. I said at the start, there's a sad energy to this reading. But it feels to me like this is much more about them. Really, the word is regret. This slow moving energy, whether it be masculine or feminine, is in regret. Great, huge regret. They've really done this wrong, and they've done it to themselves, and now they know it. And they're very upset about it. And they don't know what to do about it either. That's what that feels like, which is ridiculous, because actually, if it's a case of make up your mind and tell me what you want, they do know what to do. They just they're just not ready to do it. I don't want to say they haven't got the balls to do it. They're not ready to do it. Maybe we'll find out why as we go along. The Hierophant. This is interesting. This is on the face of it. This is what is obvious to everybody, including yourself, is that this was a connection that should have been going places. It should have been cemented. It should have been turned into something real. Yeah. I dare I say it should have been a marriage. If you are really sad because you were supposed to be getting married and it's not happened, then I'm really, really sorry for you. Because this does feel like that's what should have been happening. Something real should have developed and it hasn't. It's not got to where it should have got to. And I wonder if quite a lot of people are sort of in disbelief about this as to how it's all gone wrong. And maybe you are yourself not really understanding what's happened. I suspect there's quite a lot of fear emanating from these two cards. And I suspect something about you or something about the connection that the other person has with you has scared this slower energy. They're not used to it. What is it? They're not used to it. They're not used to. I think it's something born out of an intensity. I feel that this is a person who hides their emotions, yet actually feels very deeply. It's easier for them to pretend otherwise. And so I think they may, the connection may have frightened them. The strength of connection may have frightened them. Yeah, maybe this is a soulmate or a twin flame bond. Bond. Why am I saying bond? Twin bond. Bonding. Maybe somebody's surname is Bond. I don't know. Strong like James Bond. Sometimes when I'm doing a reading, a word will get stuck in my head and I'll have to sort of muddle over it and try and work out what it's for. I'm not quite sure what that bond is for, but the bond between the two of you is very significant. Maybe I just need to say it's very significant. It was a very significant bond, which is why I'm repeating the word bond like a mad person. It was a real true bond, and I think it scared them. And so they slowed down to the point of stopping. Or you said to them, you might have said to them, we need to move this forward. I'm ready for the next step. And they dug their heels in and it frightened them. Oh, God, honestly, that's what it feels like. If that's the case, then you must be feeling very, very sad, but also frustrated. Very frustrated. What's underneath? We have the Two of Wands. Now, I normally take two extra cards from the bottom of the deck, and I'm just realising that I've since shuffled, so it'll be interesting to see which two come out. Ooh, right. Two of Wands, this is what is hidden from view or what is not seen by other people or is not properly known by yourself yet either. And that is, and I think this is something you are starting to realise, and it does link in a little bit with yesterday's reading, which is you are realising there is a big world out there and you do not have to sit and wait for somebody who is scared of how much they love you in order to move things forward and is doing nothing. I think it's dawning on you that you can actually live your life whether you've heard from this person or not, because they may never get back in touch. If they're that scared and that slow, this feels to me like this situation has been ongoing for a while. I would say several months for sure, possibly years even. And I think you've reached, I'm not saying the point of no return with this person, because as I said before, there is a deep, deep bond here, but you've reached the point where you're not going to be waiting. Not that you're not waiting. Well, I don't think that's right either. I think you might still be waiting for them to make up their mind, but it's not going to stop you from doing anything else and living your life. And of course, the more you start living your life, the more it is actually going to upset this person here, because they will either feel it or see that you are out and about, looking good, doing whatever you want, having holidays, all that sort of thing, having fun. And that's here, the Three of Cups. So you can see what I was saying about the Five of Cups has kicked the Three of Cups over. So he's kicked the joy out of it. He's sort of kicked all of the joy out of this situation. And that's not good enough for you. And why would it be? You've had enough of being miserable. You've had enough of waiting for somebody else. And it is time actually to get the joy back. The other thing is that's been happening. It's a funny thing to say because this is about you. But I feel like it's been happening behind your back. Like it's sort of crept up on you like you didn't know it was happening. Is that you've been healing. You've been doing a lot of healing. You may well have been working on yourself. And even if you haven't, in an obvious way, you have been doing something that is very, very healing for you. It may be walking in nature. You might have been swimming. You might have been practicing yoga, or I want to say stretching, or just not thinking, sort of clearing your mind of troubles. It feels like there's less trouble in your mind. And I think that means that you're more able, suddenly able and willing and wanting to go out and have some fun finally. Because you've been in a state of repair. So all of the while that you've been waiting for somebody else, grappling with a situation that was not really of your own making, a situation that did not suit you, and you put your foot down and said that, this doesn't suit me. And all the while that you have been out of that situation for whatever period of time it is, you've been healing, and actually really effectively, healing really, really well. In fact, I'm going to keep that card on top there because that person's a fool, whoever they are, and I'm putting them to the bottom. It's sort of kick-started, I want to say, a period of self-discovery. That seems like such an odd thing to say. It's put the focus back on you, and I think you've been instinctively knowing what it is that feels right for you, knowing what's going to make you feel good, and actively seeking out feelings of feeling good. The reason it's hidden, like I was trying to say a minute ago, is that you probably have only just noticed. If you haven't noticed yet, you soon will. In fact, now I'm looking at this healing card, you might have been talking to the divine. You might have been going into churches and church services and things like that, and you might have found that very soothing. I used to work in a Catholic school, and I used to find Mass so soothing, even though I'm not Catholic. I just used to sort of revive me and sort of renew me somehow. So you might have been doing something like that. You might have found some sort of spiritual practice that has just been soothing your soul, really good for. That's giving me a chill. If ever I get a chill, that means that I am on the money. You've been soothing your soul yourself. I'm so, so pleased to hear that. And actually, we've got another card of church and worship here as well with the Hierophant. So that's really good news. You're stepping through a portal, it seems like. And that's just made, I've just covered my mouth with my hands because I'm quite excited. That's just reminded me we're coming up next week or the week after, soon. Anyway, the 8th of August, the 8th of the 8th day of the 8th month is a portal. And actually, oh wow, this is the Leo card as well. So we've just entered into Leo season, and we're coming up to the 8th of the 8th portal, and I think that's going to have quite a profound effect on you. In fact, it's like you're already getting the benefits of the early, because sometimes with these portals and with moon phases and things like that, you get like a pre-phase. It feels like we're in the pre-portal phase, and you are harnessing that energy. Do you remember at the start when I said it's not like you're grappling with a situation, you're not really having to do very much, it's you're getting to grips with it, but you're not having to really work hard. It's like that. It's like this Leo season has just washed over you in a sort of gentle way, and has been somehow or other been soothing your soul. I think the 8th of August is going to be very, very interesting. I want to say important, relevant, major. It's going to be major. Yeah, it is. And actually the full moon that we've just had, I don't know about anybody else, but that felt fairly major for me. That was on Sunday, I think. That felt major. And this is going to feel major. Ooh, major shake-ups. This is great. So that's on the underneath. So you've been secretly, even hiding it from yourself, unaware that you've been healing, that you're opening your life up and are open to new people, new opportunities, new ventures, and joy and happiness. You are open to that now. And here was me thinking that this was going to be a sad reading. So that was the starting point, was sad. But actually the sadness is not with you anymore. The sadness is with the person you've left behind, or the person who left you behind. Really interesting. In the past position, this is fascinating. You could have been in a cycle for 2 years. We've got the infinity symbol again. And this is 2 coins, it's 2 years. So we had the infinity symbol here on above the strength card. And now we're making that infinite loop with the 2 of Pentacles as well. So it could be, Pentacles always stand for years, and it could be that you've been in a cycle for 2 years. Or you've been waiting for somebody to decide for 2 years. That seems like a long time to wait. So I feel like this is a 2-year cycle. So if you have had a period of time of waiting, you are now in the second, let's say that's that part, you are now in the second phase. You are in the living phase, in the loving phase, in the having fun phase. You're in the light phase. You've had the heavy, dark phase, and now you're in the light. Not saying your other person is, but you are. And so you're in the better half of this 2-year cycle. Right, this is very interesting. So in the future position, we have a knight offering his cup of love. Wow. Do we think it could be this knight who is upset because he's left behind a good thing? Do we think he might be changing his mind and moving things forward? Well, yes, potentially he could be. If he's not, if that person is never coming back to you, then it could be somebody new. This feels to me like quite a familiar energy though. So if it's not this particular person that who's sad, that we've been talking about, who pulls his finger out and finally gets the nerve to talk to you. If it's not them, then it's somebody that you are either already familiar with or who feels familiar when you meet them. I'm getting a chill again. So I think you're going to meet somebody who feels a bit like, it sounds so cliched, but a little bit like, I don't even know if I want to say it. I don't know why I'm stumbling over this. This is obviously quite important. You're going to meet somebody or somebody that you already know you're going to interact with in a slightly different way, and they're going to feel like home. So either this person, this slow-moving knight, comes to his senses and makes a really fundamental change and moves towards you in a good way, or you're going to meet somebody who you may not know but who feels familiar and like home, or you're going to interact with somebody you already know in a different way, and it's going to feel like home. This has got very much a light bulb moment flashing across the top of it for me. It feels to me like it's going to be like that, bang, like a bolt of lightning from whomever is coming. Either coming back, coming forward, or coming around, or coming together with somebody else. It's going to be bang, light bulb moment. This is it. Oh, what excitement. Right. That's in the future position. I think I would like to know how long that's going to take. Because if you're anything like me, and you may not be at all, I am probably one of the most impatient people in the whole world. So I would always want to know when this is happening. When is the Knight of Cups coming forward with his love offer? Can we have a timing card for that, please? And if I can't get one here, I have got some other cards that I might get out to give us timing. Get it now. Ooh! I've asked for a timing card, and that is 5 weeks. That is soon. 5 weeks. I wasn't expecting it to be as soon as that somehow. But then, like I said, I'm impatient. 5 weeks is still quite a long time. 5 weeks. Oh, I tell you what else as well. It feels like they've got stuff to deal with. They're dealing with stuff in order to come forward to you in forward motion in 5 weeks. Wow. I love it. Okay, this is your position now. King of Wands. I think you're just sitting in your own energy. This could be a Leo, Sagittarius or an Aries man. So you might have a man of one of those signs around you. If not, I think you are being quite creative. I think you've suddenly gone into forward gear and started being quite dynamic. Do you know that is a word I really don't like to use, and for some reason I've been using it in these readings. It's one of my least favourite words because to me being dynamic doesn't mean anything. But it does in this instance, because it means that you've actually condensed all of your thoughts and put them into action. That is what this card is. This is a card of action. Now, if you have, like, for example, since that full moon, which affected me hugely on Sunday, I started this YouTube channel. Well, I don't know why I did that all of a sudden. So you might have something like that happening where you suddenly propelled into action. To be honest, I've been thinking about doing it for about 4 years, but I just have never, suddenly I had to start it. And so that is what dynamic is. It's the knowing everything about a situation that you want to change and then just doing it. Getting on with it. Brilliant. Love that. That is brilliant. This is the home position. Wheel of Fortune, things are changing. Things are moving forward. You might be moving house. I've said this at least twice this week already. Or there's a will. Where there's a will, there's a way, I feel like saying. And it's not a will, it's a wheel, isn't it? But where there's a will, there's a way. So it might feel like you might not be able to do the things you want, but you're going to find a way because things are moving forward. It's like, throwing a boulder down. Well, not that you could throw a boulder. Pushing a boulder down a hill, it gains a lot of momentum as it travels, and that's what this Wheel of Fortune is doing. I'm getting a chill again. This is a real gain of momentum. Yeah, wonderful. Really positive forward motion at home. So if things have been stuck at home for a while, things are moving forward in a really good way. Hopes and fears. Aha. You might be hoping for an apology or a love letter or a message of some sort. You might actually be waiting for somebody to send you a letter to tell you how they feel. And do you know what? I think they've written it. I think they've written it numerous times. I just don't think they've got the balls to send it yet. It's funny, isn't it? Because what would be stopping them? It's all in their head. If I was to draw another card to clarify their feeling now, I'd get the Eight of Swords. I know it. They're absolutely tight. They've tied themselves in knots in their own head. Anyway, enough of them. You're waiting for a love letter or an apology, hoping for. There's no fear attached to this, so this is definitely a hoping card. I think you're going to get it. In fact, I know you're going to get it. Really interesting. I might just take a clarifier for that. Why are we suddenly going to get a Page of Cups? What's happening to that person? What's happening to them? I do apologise for my terrible shuffling. After all these years of doing this, I still don't know how to do it properly. Why all of a sudden is this person going to be sending you a love letter or making an apology? What is happening to them? I said they would to clarify them, we'll get the Eight of Swords. Oh, sometimes I surprise myself. There, Eight of Swords. They are tied up in an absolute tangle in their own head. Can't believe it. Brilliant. They've tied themselves in knots. They're utterly, utterly miserable. Can't even find that card now. I buried it. They're utterly miserable. They've tied themselves in knots. And the only thing that they can do now is move things forward. Because actually, I don't think they know. They don't know how to. It's like you've had such a profound effect on them. It's back to that bond I was talking about before. And I was saying that it scared them, the strength of the bond. But they can't get away from it. You've sort of ruined it for them, for everybody else that they might ever meet. It's never going to be the same. And so they have to come back. They have to. Even if it means eating humble pie and apologising. Or actually writing down how they feel and telling you. Yeah, because for them, this sort of night, this sort of stoic, slow night, they don't want to talk about their feelings. And yet they're going to. They absolutely are going to. And the outcome, well, we could even say this is me, really. The outcome is the High Priestess. This is, and do you know what I wanted to say just then? You know it. You know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. They know it's got to happen, but they haven't started yet. Or they're making moves, but they're slow. But they're going to do it. They are doing it. They're dealing with other people. They've got to move this forward. The outcome as the High Priestess. Your inner knowing, your inner voice. You know the outcome. You know what's coming. That's what that says to me. You haven't heard it yet, but you know what's coming. Here we are. Victory. You're going to get what you want. The outcome that you want is on its way. And that's really interesting because, oh, I love it, love it, love it. That's the Six of Wands. So 5 weeks we had until he moves forward. 6 weeks to victory. My goodness. I don't know if there's I don't know if there's anything else I can say. I mean, that's amazing. Do I want to get anything else? I feel a bit like I do. I don't know why I'm dithering, but I do feel a little bit like there might be something else to say here. What else is there to tell us about this situation or about this person who's really... Oh my God. The King of Cups, of course. I've got 2 more there. The King of Cups. The king who doesn't know how he feels. And the Emperor. Very prideful. Too proud to admit how he feels, even when he's worked it out. Wow. Massive, 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 massive. In terms of the astrology, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio male, or a male who just is not good with his emotions, or a male who's a bit wishy-washy, and this male is an Aries or a very prideful male, a male who does not want to admit that he was wrong, or a male who does not want to lose face somehow. Wow. Right, that's them. And they came with the 2 and the 7 of Swords. Well, this is fascinating. The 2 of Swords is a choice, and the 7 of Swords is sneaky behaviour. Maybe they wanted to keep it secret. They chose to keep it secret, and you chose to leave. It's that, it's that sort of feeling. Or they wanted to have, just wanted to have a situationship with you. You know, you weren't important enough to have a real relationship with. So you told them to shove it. Quite rightly too. I agree with that. You can only do things for as long as you feel good about them. And if a situation doesn't work for you, then you have to leave it. You did that, and their pride, oh my God, did it take a knock. Oh my goodness. And now we know why the energy to come back is so slow. Because they're going to have to eat humble pie. And it's happening in Leo season. It's happening now. What did I say before? The 8th of the 8th portal. Massive, 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 massive. Big thing. Big thing? Doesn't feel like the right way of ending this. It's going to be a really big deal for them. To be honest, I want to say, and you may not want to agree, but if this person is particularly bad at knowing how they feel, or particularly bad at saying how they feel, or particularly bad at, you know, talking in general, like some men are. Some men are really bad at talking. If this is your person and they screw up their courage, they gather all their strength and they come to you with an apology or a love letter, I would like to say, please be kind to them. Let them speak at least. Because this is going to take an awful lot for them to do this. They are going to. They have to do it. They know they have to do it. There's no way that they can't do it. They can't live with this energy anymore. Look at all these swords. They can't stand it. And that miserable, no joy in their life at all. Wow, this reading was so much bigger than I was expecting. 8th of August, people, look out. Just going to look at the bottom of the deck just before we go. More swords. It's time. They've reached the end, finally. Hallelujah. Wow. The Emperor is coming to get his Empress, finally. Wow. Brilliant. I'm delighted. I hope that this has helped. And as I was saying earlier, if you want to get readings that are more tailored towards you without having a personal reading, do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and then hopefully I can harness your energy from a distance. Well, this is great news. 8th of August, very exciting. Yeah, have a lovely weekend, everybody. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.